Chapter 27, User Interface. User interface versus old-school customer service. Doesn't that sound interesting? Well, we're going to make this as interesting as we can for you because it is important. And one of the reasons it gets treated the way it does is because it's not interesting. Bear with us, we'll reconcile that dichotomy, and we'll explain. Karate took a turn when Gichin Funakoshi, 1868 to 1957, the founder of Shotokan, started teaching in the Japanese university system. How are you supposed to teach a gymnasium full of people? When Kris went to university, he found himself in a massive karate class. It was a huge club, and he was in the back, lined up in the rank-and-file system, like the military. It wasn't the backyard dojo of the past. Likewise, Lawrence tried both kendo and karate in college and found himself in a very similar situation. That's what Funakoshi did. He took what the military was doing to teach basic stuff to a majority of people, and he copied it. Don't misunderstand, that was not a bad thing. If you have a better way of teaching massive amounts of people in a consistent and quality way, well, you're on your way to earning a Nobel Prize. The rank and file are necessary, but it makes you feel like a number. The user interface, though, is where we can change the institution. It's where we change the experience. Take your karate club back toward that old-school customer service. But first, a few stories. We want you to see this experience. It's no secret that we both love the game of football and watch frequently, sometimes in person, sometimes on television. Heck, Lawrence loves it so much that after 26 years of getting paid to watch the game working stadium security, he earned his reporter's credentials and subsequently got paid to report on his son's games, watching from the sideline. Best seat in the house. Okay, back to the story. Kris wanted to go to a university football game. His buddy who'd bought the tickets called and said, "Yeah, can't meet you there and give you your ticket. It's e-tickets now. I have to transfer it electronically to you. Why don't you print it out and give it to me?" "Can't print it. The system doesn't allow it." "Okay. You need to get an account." "Send me a screenshot." "Can't. The system doesn't allow it. Get an account. They say it's easy." It's easy, they say. That's like when a politician says, "Let me be clear." We all know that a lie will immediately follow that statement. Kris had to download the app, create an account, choose a name, create a password, and search for his friend in the system. And the URL was blank. Way to make it hard. Way to create friction. My fault. Their fault? It doesn't make any difference because I am frustrated now. Should have done like Lawrence and found a way to get in for free. Sigh. At the time, the team was above average. They had recently defeated a ranked opponent while on the road, and it was homecoming. The game was also in league play, meaning it counted for their rankings and playoff hopes. Big deal, right? It was, but the team drew maybe 3/4 of the stadium capacity. Part of the lackluster attendance was the user interface. When it's that bad, people will throw up their hands and go, "Damn, done," and walk away. It's not that they aren't fans, but even football fanatics have a limit to what hoops they'll jump through in order to attend a game. There's no limited site seats or bad weather on television. You don't have to wade through security, buy overpriced refreshments, and wait in long lines to use the bathrooms. Game not televised? Well, there's always radio or streaming. To make matters worse, after finally figuring out how to get the app to work and acquire the QR code, Kris had to get scanned to get into the game. That makes perfect sense. What didn't make sense was when he was leaving the stadium and the security guy at the gate said, "I need to scan you before you leave." "No, you don't." Kris walked past the guy. What were they going to do? Eject him from a stadium he was already trying to leave? That's bad management, and sadly, not even an extreme example. Your martial arts school should never be like that. By contrast, Kris's experiences with KLM Airlines have been top flight. Here's the story. The opposite story of what he experienced with that football game. To be fair, KLM is a much larger organization than a state university, but even so, This is what the school should have aspired to. Kris landed in Amsterdam. His flight was late, and he had already missed his connection. But that connecting flight had been canceled, so he was rerouted onto another flight. Perfect. He showed up at the gate to confirm. Yes, you have a ticket. May I see your passport? Sure. You're supposed to be on this flight, but you're not on the manifest. That's odd. What's going on? I'm sorry, but you need to go back to Terminal 2. He had time, not a problem. When he arrived, Kris was greeted at Terminal 2 by a well-dressed KLM employee who spoke 7.5 languages. He explained to her what happened. Did you book through our sister carrier out of the United States? Yes, I did. They updated their computer systems last night. Don't worry, we'll take care of you. We'll make sure you get on your next flight. It's not going to be a problem. Continue to wait here in line. The gate attendant will be able to help you with that. We guarantee you'll make your flight. Thanks for flying KLM. They assured him that he was going to get what he needed and that he was going to do it in a timely fashion. What else does a person need? It was a routine computer glitch solved not by downloading an app, creating an account, and learning a new system, but rather by simple, old-fashioned customer service. That's all it was. He was a person, talking to a person who'd actually been empowered to do something about his problem. Without that, Kris might still be stuck in an airport in a foreign country where he couldn't speak the language, dumpster diving for food so he wouldn't starve to death, and this book wouldn't have been written. So, you teach martial arts, you need to remove the roadblocks for your students. You need to reduce friction. You need to make your school experience smooth, and you need to serve the students' goals when it comes to martial arts. The days of stumbling into the local martial arts school at the strip mall because it was the only thing available are long gone. There is always something else to do. You create friction, and they will choose something else. Students reading this will undoubtedly agree. Dojo are a proverbial dime a dozen. It's the instructor that counts. And those who remember who pays their bills, focus on the customer, and make for a positive experience do well. Those who don't, well, not so much. That's not by any means suggesting a McDojo participation trophy approach that lacks quality and competence. However, not by any stretch of the imagination. It is saying that you cannot attract and retain students if you create friction that keeps folks from learning. When there's a problem, and there always will be like KLM. Have an answer, be clear, and respect the customer. Takeaways. User interface is crucial in martial arts schools to enhance the overall customer experience. Friction or roadblocks in the user interface cause frustration and deter students from engaging or staying. Providing smooth, goal-oriented, competency-based experiences is essential to attract and retain students in martial arts schools. Quotes, courteous treatment will make a customer a walking advertisement. James Cash, J.C. Penney. To earn the respect and eventually love of your customers, you first have to respect those customers. That is why golden rule behavior is embraced by most of the winning companies. Colleen Barrett. To give real service, you must add something which cannot be bought or measured with money, and that is sincerity and integrity. Don Alden Adams.